When Royal Enfield launched the Scram 411, it received a very mixed reaction. People wanted more power, a 6-speed gearbox, a better design, and overall a better package over what Royal Enfield had brought out as the Scrambler adaptation of the Himalayan. Now, years later, we've got the Scram 440. The Scram 440 was first showcased at Motorverse last year, and it seemed promising enough to make up for all that the 411 couldn't. But does it?
Design-wise, the Scram 440 maintains the overall look of its predecessor, but comes with several fresh color options to keep things interesting. And anyways, Royal Enfield has been killing it with colors lately. Most hardware components, like the telescopic suspension, monoshock setup, wheels, and the disc brake sizes remain the same. The switchgear remains traditional, unlike the rotary switches seen on other Royal Enfield bikes. Ground clearance also remains unchanged at 200mm, and the suspension travel is 190mm at the front and 180mm at the rear. The seat height also stays consistent at 795mm. So what's changed then?
The standout upgrade on the new Scram 440 compared to the older Scram 411 is its engine. While it retains the same engine block as before, Royal Enfield has increased the cylinder displacement by boring out the engine, specifically by 3 mm. This has resulted in higher power and torque outputs. The old 5-speed gearbox has been replaced with a modern 6-speed unit that features a slip and assist clutch. Additionally, Royal Enfield has also worked on reducing the clutch effort, making it easier to use. The single overhead cam valve train system has also been refined to minimize engine noise. Personally, I feel this is the treatment the older Himalayan deserved to have gotten before they moved on to the new 450. Even though it shares its foundation with the Scram 411, the Scram 440 now comes with a reinforced chassis which has led to changes in its size. This bike is now larger, taller, and heavier. This stronger frame also allows the Scram to accommodate a top box, which the older model couldn't handle. A noticeable change comes in the form of these alloy wheels, which permit the use of tubeless tires, available only in the top Force variant. The base trail variant still runs on spoke trims and tube tires. Royal Enfield has also equipped this bike with switchable ABS, a feature that the Scram 411 missed out on. It also gets an LED headlight, a semi-digital display, a USB charging port, and there's also the optional triple port for navigation purposes. I feel all of these updates have made this bike a whole lot more usable and practical for daily riders.
Usually when a bike gets a big bore kit, there's a rampant increase in vibrations and the heat produced. Well, that's not the case with the Scram. There are significantly lesser vibrations than before, and the heat is still manageable. It might bother you when you're stuck in traffic, as this is, after all, an air-cooled engine. But once you start moving, the issue is resolved. Another issue many people had with the Scram 411 was the lack of stopping power. The feedback was too poor. Well, Royal Enfield has listened to you because they have now equipped the Scram 440 with larger caliper pistons. And I've got to say, it's impressive how much of a difference it's made to the braking.
Since this bike is capable enough to go to roads less travel, it just makes sense that it should have come with a variant that offers tubeless spoke wheels as an option. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, and maybe the cost would have been much higher. But I know for a fact that the overall experience and confidence as a whole would have improved a lot.
I also wish it weren't as heavy, because a lighter motorcycle is always a better motorcycle. All of that is okay, but this is a Scrambler. So the question is, can it scramble?
Despite all these updates, the price difference between the Scram 440 and the 411 is minimal. With the 411 phased out, the Scram 440 steps in as a more modern and capable successor for adventure enthusiasts. But does it make sense in 2025? Well, if you are someone who's been a fan of the Scram offering since its 411 days and wanted something that checks all the boxes, this could definitely be it. But remember, this is still an old platform, and I would have personally loved to see the Scram 450 directly instead of this. Sure, it wouldn't have been as affordable as the 440, but newer tech, newer platform, and of course, that liquid-cooled engine would have been really nice. In a world where Scramblers are supposed to be the jack of all trades, this one fits right in and goes up against the SC Scrambler. And if you put in more money, you get the Triumph Scrambler 400X, which is a really good product. I honestly do not know how long the 440 will find itself on the shelf, but for now, this is it. If you want us to do a comparo, let us know in the comment section. And in the meanwhile, Markadane ee video like chega, share this video with your friends and subscribe to Power Drift. Alshin Thomas, over and out.